Hello, I'm lucky enough today to be talking to Amanda Coupland from Derbyshire Dog Services. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, hi, nice to talk to you, Wendy.
And you. Um, we've only just first, sorry, I can't talk. We've only recently got to know each other through one of my first dogs I did Reiki on was Rosie, and Amanda, I think, dog walks Rosie as well.
I do. So I've walked Rosie actually for 3 years. It just came up the other day that we've been walking her for 3 years. And she's just turned 4. So she was a year when I started walking her. And she has been, I mean, they're all comedians, all the dogs that I walk, but she has definitely got one of the biggest characters. She is what I call my stooge dog. I absolutely adore her. She will go with any dog. She's brilliant, big, small, anything. She's playful, she's fun. She never gets aggressive with any dog. She's an absolute sweetheart. So yeah, I do think of her as one of my own, really. She's one of my fur kids, my favourite fur kids.
She's lovely. Can I share her?
You
Because I must
can, you
admit,
can.
and as I say, I did several sessions of animal Reiki with her, and I kept in touch with them since. And I didn't used to like big dogs, but on like the second session, she was pinning me to the back of the settee, and it didn't bother me. She's just
You
lovely.
can't not love her though. You
You
can't.
can't
She's
love that.
adorable. She's just
No,
one of those personalities. Yeah, you fall in love with.
that's
Madly.
it. So
Yeah.
you said you dog walk. What else do you do? And can you say a bit more about dog walking?
Yeah, so Derbyshire Dog Services, I set it up in the beginning of 2019, just at the beginning of COVID. And I initially started off with dog walking whilst I was studying and doing all my training. And I've now become a qualified IMDT trainer, which the IMDT is a company called the Institute of Modern Dog Trainers. And I basically got into that because I'd got my own young dog. She's now
Yeah.
5, and I'd taken her to puppy training classes. And as though they were very good and I loved it and I really enjoyed it, and she was very good at puppy classes, there were a couple of things that I thought could have maybe done differently, and I was
Right.
interested to find out about other training methods. So I went with this company, the Institute of Modern Dog Trainers, because I love their ethos. I love the way that they train. It's completely force-free. So it's all about working with your dog, becoming your dog's best friend, and really, building that bond, which in order to get a loose lead walk or a good recall or a good general obedience,
Yeah.
all stems from that. A lot of dog trainers out there still use a very, what we call an outdated method of dog training, which is much more about being the dominant one and being the alpha of the pack. And it's based on pack mentality,
Yeah.
which the IMDT and other organisations have shown that actually it's not just outdated, but it doesn't actually benefit the dogs from a behavioural point of view or a physical point of view, in that the dogs do as they're told, but they're doing it because they're forced to do it as opposed to doing it because they want to do it.
Oh, right.
So the way that now modern dog training is taught, is much more about, as I say, working with the dog, understanding your dog. I think a lot of it boils down to people assume that it's that one set thing, every dog does the same thing, and they're not. They're like humans. They've all got
different.
They've all got characters, and it's about working with those characters. And I suppose the main reason I got into it was because my dog herself, she's an Alaskan Malamute, beautiful big fluffy dog, but they are notorious for having very strong characters, and she is. If she doesn't want to do something, she's not going to do it. So
and she's a big dog, isn't she? Because I've seen her.
I'm not going to argue with her. I'm not. So I learned to work with her, and we do things. Sometimes it takes a bit longer, and sometimes, we have to have a little bit more patience with her.
Yeah.
But we get there at the end, and the proof is in the pudding for me. And I've shown that we can have dogs, and I can have that breed of dog off lead, and she will be obedient, and she will, she has got great recall. She's pretty good on general obedience when she wants. So on the whole, I was very happy with that, and that, as I say, was what really got me into finding out a little bit more about dog training and going down the route I've taken. So Derbyshire Dog Services, I now expanded it once I started with the dog walking and then went into dog training. I also offer dog sitting. However, at the minute, I'm so busy, I'm struggling to do the dog sitting. So I just do occasional nights, weekends, but I can't really do long-term holiday sits anymore.
No.
And then other than that, we do lots of different things. So we do all different training courses. I do one-to-one training, and I can come to your house. I do puppy consultations. We do swimming classes, which is at a purpose-built.
That's interesting.
It's lovely, and again, it's very much the same ethos as all my dog training. We don't force the dogs into the swimming pool. It's different levels to it. So it's got a small area, a shallow area where they can learn to play.
Yeah.
And we do a 4-week introduction to water. So it's based on either young dogs or dogs that are a little bit nervous of water. And we take them and we let them enjoy it, and we get them to enjoy the water and enjoy being in it. And eventually then they'll start to swim if they want to. We don't put any pressure on them.
No.
So it's like some places where they're literally thrown into water and they're expected to swim. It's, as I say, it's all down to building that bond with your dog, and your dog comes in and you actually go in the water with them. So they've been really successful.
Really interesting.
And then we do lots of we do recall workshops. A lot of people struggling with getting the dogs to come back on recall.
Yeah.
And obviously you've probably noticed this as well, with the boom since COVID of everyone going out and buying dogs. Everybody seems to have a dog these days. So, more and more call, I think, to have a dog that's well trained rather than a dog that's just going to run off to every other dog, or, there's been a lot more incidents happening as well. So I think people are a lot more aware of it now and are wanting to go down the training route and make sure that they have got a little bit of control with their dogs.
Yeah, that's really good. I must have I thought dog training was just one thing, but
we do loose lead classes. We're just working at the moment actually on something new that started called grades. So the IMDT have introduced grades 1 to 5, which is very similar, if anyone's heard of the Kennel Club do the gold, silver and bronze awards. And you have a set criteria that you have to achieve before you can, receive your certificate. So you're working your way up. So we're just starting grades now and starting courses for that. So that's been quite interesting and quite popular. Yeah. What else have we done? We've done rally obedience, which is a combination of general obedience and agility. So it's again about training your dogs to have a little bit better general obedience, so a little bit more heel work, and then having a bit of fun with a few jumps and things as well.
So it's not all work.
No. So we try and keep, as I say, with all my dog training, it's about having fun. It's about enjoying doing it with your dog. There's no point in it not enjoying it, or your dog's not enjoying it.
No.
So for me, it's about bringing the fun side into it.
Yeah.
Again, we build trick training courses for anyone who wants to have a bit of fun and teach the dogs a few tricks. So we do that generally around Christmas time. I'm always running competitions. As you know yourself, we did the big event recently, which was a big canine carnival.
Yes, that's really good.
Yeah, the third one I've done.
Oh, right.
It's incredibly hard work and very stressful. But again, it's just to a bit of a showcase, really, to show what Derbyshire Dog Services offers. And what we're capable of, and and if people want to and join in, really. So that's what the shows are about. So yeah, it's progressing nicely.
It sounds really good, and I like the way everything you do, it's about the dog. Definitely. You're not forcing them to do anything. Like the animal Reiki I do, the animals are always in charge. When they've had enough, you just let them walk off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've always been an animal lover, and I think that's obviously what's kind of brought me around to taking this line of work. And for me, I probably have it all wrong, but I would hate to see an animal being forced or pressurized into doing anything.
No.
And I wouldn't tolerate it if I saw someone using force on an animal. So I am very, it's something that is quite deep-seated with me, and I would make sure that all dogs are fairly treated. I think they give us so much love, and it's completely unconditional, and the least we can do is give them that time and attention and patience. I think with a lot of it is
it's really good. Have you got, sorry to put you on the spot, apart from Rosie, have you got any other interesting dogs that you have looked after, or you are now?
I mean, on a daily basis, I'm on a group with other dog walkers and other dog sitters, and we've kind of made it now into a little bit. We put our stories on at the end of the week because there's always something happening with the different dogs. At the time, it's probably not very amusing, but afterwards, when you look back at it, you think, okay, that was quite funny, especially if people are watching you and see what happens. I mean, I've got some real characters, some more than others. One in particular who he's actually gone from being one of the shyest, quietest dogs that I've ever had. I came to my puppy training classes, and for the whole 6 weeks of training, he wouldn't go near a person, near another dog. He'd stand behind his own legs, petrified. Now, I would say he's probably the most confident character I've got, to the point where he'll disappear with anybody. He'll go and talk to the dog. He's a real character. And the other day he decided, normally he's got brilliant recall, but the other day he decided he was going to go running off up the street after the ice cream van that was now peering over the hill, but he wanted an ice cream, so he was going after the ice cream van. And there I was in tow with all my other dogs on the lead, actually running up the street after him because his recall had gone completely out the window and he was having none of it. He was going for his ice cream. And then the other thing he does as well is his little party trick is at the end of every walk, he doesn't want to go home, so he throws himself on the floor on his side. Now he's a big full Labrador, so he's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So I try to pick him up and he just squirms and rolls around. I can't physically get a hold of him. So I end up dragging him sideways off the park. And I always think if anybody sees me, if they knew I was a trainer going mad,
they'd be horrified.
We're in this little routine and we do it. I drag him along for a little bit and then I'll say, right, up now, come on, and off we go, and it'll go off the park. But he's a real character. But yeah, they've all got lovely characters. They're all quite funny and quirky. But yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for this, Amanda. I really appreciate it. I've learned a lot about what you do. I'm amazed at how many different courses there are and the different aspects to it.
Yes, it's
keeping me busy. Share this around and hopefully we'll send some more clients your way.
Lovely to work together and, like you say, recommend each other's companies and
that's it, definitely. Thank you. Really appreciate this.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.